All right, we're live. We are live. It is 6 o'clock on the dot. I believe in being timely. Um, yeah, this live is going to be just, there's a lot of things coming your way. Um, we're going to talk about how things that are coming your way on the channel. We're going to talk about the Patreon launch. Yes, Patreon just launched. If you haven't went over the Patreon page, head over there, patreon.com/Jahrell, Jahrell. But we're going to hang on for just a second and let a few more people get logged in. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up my Patreon page. How y'all doing, creatives? Glad to be live with you guys. Hopefully my lighting is popping. All right, we got somebody on. Let me know if you can hear me. Just make sure we got everything set up right. I will have the chat live, so hit me up in the chat box. Cool. All right. I got everything set here. Cool. Y'all bear with me. This is my first live on this YouTube channel. Pretty exciting. Definitely getting the kinks out. Future lives will be much better. Cool. All right. So, for those of you that don't know, this YouTube channel, Music Technologist, the reason this exists is because I want to help creative people make dope music. I want to inspire and educate and help you master your tech that you need to make music freely. A lot of the times, our technology can get in our way rather than be helpful to us. So, the reason this channel exists, the reason my Patreon exists, is to help other creatives like myself um, to be able to make music, and to do it well, not just make anything, but to make good art. So happy to have those that are on. Hey, Nia, that's my little sister. She's on. I see you in the chat. All right. If you guys are as pumped as I am to be live, hit me with a fist up emoji in the comments, in the chat. Let me know. So I guess I'll jump right into it. Those that miss it, they can go watch the replay. If you're watching the replay, welcome. But Nia, I see you. All right, fist emoji. So some things have transpired. Um, Patreon launched today. It is September 1st. This is the official Patreon launch. So if you go to patreon.com/Jahrell, that's Jahrell, you can see my Patreon page. So this is what this is an opportunity for you guys to fund or just contribute and get behind exactly what I was talking about just a second ago. This pursuit to equip and educate creatives, help you guys make something dope, make dope music. Take something that might be a little hobby of yours and turn it into a passion that you can do something with. So, yeah, when you pledge on Patreon, that's what you're contributing to. There are some perks, so I'm gonna get into some of that. So on my $2 tier, that's the lowest tier, you'll get early access to all of my pre-release as well as unreleased music for however long you're a patron. So that means any music I release, any music, you will get it first. There's no one that will get it earlier than you if you're a patron. $2. That's pretty crazy. So, and I release all of my stuff on Patreon in WAV format. So we're talking about top quality audio files coming straight from my DAW. This isn't stream quality. This is the best. So some of these tracks you will never see anywhere else. Some of them, I do plan to release more and more of my music, but some of this stuff, it's going to be special for you guys, for those of you that are patrons, and that's for every tier gets access to this. So if you watch a tutorial on my channel and you see a track that I make in the pretty near future from when that video comes out, you will get a track in your Patreon, and it'll be the. Sometimes I'll do finished tracks, sometimes I'll do the working version, but I will always, anytime I finish a track, release it on there. So that's the details on that. Any music I'm talking about before it goes up on Spotify, Apple Music, it's going to Patreon. Just to show my appreciation for you guys, and my appreciation for your support. Let me know also down in the chat. If you're here, let me know if you have any questions. Remember, this is a Q&A. I have lots of A. I could use some more Q's. But I do want to cover some of the things that I have been asked about before, as far as like video topics I'm going to cover and things like that. So, but if you got questions, leave them down in the chat. I am watching the chat. Cool. So the second tier, this is the Creatives $5 tier. It gives you obviously access to all of the tracks, just like in the $2 tier, but you'll also get early access to ad-free versions of all of my YouTube videos here on Patreon, or well, on Patreon, because we're on YouTube right now. But you'll also get, well, let me not skip past that. So early access to all of those. I'm going to start out with 1 to 2 days early. We'll see how that goes. And those of you that become patrons, you can let me know what you think, if that's early enough for you. And we'll see, consider making it a little bit earlier for you guys. I want you guys to get the chance to see everything that I'm putting out without ads, but also it's your opportunity to give feedback that, just regular YouTube subscribers don't get to give. Or even you give it, but my patrons, you guys are the ones that I'm listening to the most, because I know you already support the vision and the mission, so that gives you a leg up. So yeah, early access. You will get also, this is going to be pretty nice, 2 downloadable high quality audio samples per month, recorded and mixed right here in the Music Technologist studio. So we're talking about a wide variety of samples. Every once in a while, I might release a sample pack on there, but I'm giving you guys 2 a month. And I'm talking about stuff that I use, stuff that I actually like, stuff that I've created. And as you guys can see, there's a lot of options here. The instruments on the wall are instruments that I play. I got my drum set back in the back. I've got a lot of auxiliary percussion up here. A lot of opportunities for real live samples that you can use in your music. Nothing beats live sounds. Every producer wants more live sounds, and I can't think of a better price than, being able to get that for $5 a month, samples that you can't get anywhere else. I'm not putting these samples anywhere else than right here on Patreon. So you've got those samples. Also, you're going to get access to all of the previous sound samples on my Patreon page. So at any point that you become a patron on the $5 and up tier, at any point you will get access to any of the samples that I've posted on Patreon. So, over time, that can accumulate to quite a few samples. So, yep. To my fam that's in the chat, welcome. Glad to see you guys here. Yep. Naomi said, "Get it while it's hot." That's right. Yep. All right. The $10 tier, the Creatives $10 tier. All of the previous tier benefits. My wife's distracted me. Hi. Yo, Marcus Elbow, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here. So like I was saying, the Creatives $10 tier, you get all of the same benefits for the $2 and the $5 tier, but you also get exclusive videos. This is probably one of the best perks. I'm talking about deep dives into my workflow here. I plan to break down my process track by track and give you guys the details of how I do what I do. Um, and it'll be more long form content. So, um, you know, it's not always beneficial to the YouTube algorithm to put out a video that's 30 minutes or 20 to 30 minutes. It'll just get buried in the algorithm. But on Patreon, supporters, they want to, I imagine you guys want to see some more of the creative process. And I want to make that available to you guys. So $10 tier, you're getting exclusive videos each month. Also, this is special. You're getting access to the Creatives private chat. That's a private Discord chat where you guys can connect with me and we can connect with each other and really build a community of creatives. Look, this doesn't have to be, you don't have to be someone that's been producing for years and years. It's not a place of intimidation. The $10 tier, the Creatives private chat, is really an awesome place to build community. And if you're somebody that's just getting started, you get a chance to rub some of your ideas off of more experienced producers like myself and others that would be signed up to the $10 tier. So, really cool opportunity to do this. So, let me run it back. All of the exclusive benefits for Patreon from the $2 tier, you're getting access to all of my pre-released and unreleased music. You'll be the first to hear it before anyone else. The $5 tier, you get that as well as early access to ad-free versions of all of my YouTube videos on Patreon. So, also 2 downloadable high-quality samples per month that I'm recording right here in my studio, as well as access to all the previous sound samples posted on my Patreon page. I see y'all in the chat. Glad you guys are jumping on. Big Baby Productions, what it do, fam? What's up? XL Dub, what's up? What's up, big bro? Glad you rolled through. Yep. All right, and then finally, the $10 tier, you're getting the exclusive videos every month, as well as access to the Creatives private Discord chat. Big One Tower, yo, what's up? Welcome. Um, so I also wanted to say, you guys, I realize we're all in the middle of pretty trying times. This pandemic, it's flipped everyone's world around. We all have different financial situations. So if you're in a place where adding on another subscription of any kind is not beneficial for you, then please, by all means, don't feel pressured to do this. This is an opportunity, not an imperative. This is an opportunity for you guys to connect with the channel, to learn, to educate yourself to a higher level. I believe in continuing to be a lifelong learner and being educated in what you do. And if you're serious about doing this music production thing, I'm here to walk with you along in that journey. So that's what this is for. And just a little bit on my end, I'm a one man team here. I'm you know I film, I edit, I upload, I do all the social media myself, as on top of making all the music that's involved in doing something like this. So, yeah, you guys supporting on Patreon, it will make all the difference for what I'm doing here. So, you're appreciated there. I want to segue. I want to pivot real quick. Unless anyone had any more questions on Patreon. If you have any more questions about my Patreon, let me know down in the chat. I will happily answer them. Or if you have any other questions about anything, I'm talking about music production, talking about just about the direction of the channel, anything, let me know in the chat. I'm looking at it. So, um, one thing I wanted to pivot to is, going live is this is pretty cool for me. I don't get the chance to just kind of sit here and talk my mind to you guys. All my videos are pretty highly edited. Um, but um, if you don't know, a little background about myself, I have been producing, making music of my own for the last 13 years, give or take. I believe it's about 13. Um, I started out on the demo of FL Studio. FL Studio, what was it, 8 or 9 at the time? And yeah, I'm talking about on my school computer. I was homeschooled, so we had it was a public homeschool. I had the school computer. I was making beats on my school computer using the demo, and I had to finish a beat in a day so that I could export it because if you couldn't back it up. You could not back it up. Yep, that HP Noble knows what's up. Those of you that don't know, my little bro Noble, that's my beat partner in crime right there. We used to make beats together. But yeah, yep. He said, or we make it the next day. Yeah, we would sometimes, you know, if we could get permission, leave the computer on overnight so we could get back to it. But most of the time, can't be leaving no computer on overnight. So we would take pictures of what we did, and start over fresh the next day. Anyway, I digress. um, Big One Tower, that's awesome. I'm glad you love Beatmaker 3. I'm digging it. I definitely have some things that I would like to see changed, but there's some things that are pretty great. Um, Mobile Music Pro, what it do? Welcome, welcome. Um, Yo, you guys, again, if you have questions, drop them down there. I'm happy to answer them. But as I was saying, at the same time as I started making beats, about the same time, I also started playing viola. That lovely wooden instrument on the wall right there is not a violin. That is a viola. That's my instrument of choice. Playing that since sixth grade, and that really catapulted my musical journey. Definitely don't think. Take it back. It's not a big violin. Definitely don't think. Definitely don't think I would be where I am doing what I'm doing if I didn't have that experience in orchestra as a kid and all the way through college. I mean, I took that instrument all the way through college, and to this day. But yeah, I got exposed to a lot of different types of music, and that's definitely something that's helpful as a producer to be exposed to multiple genres. And being in an orchestra, you definitely get that exposure. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. XL Dub, that's my big brother. You should make a bop with random items from your junk drawer in the kitchen. That sounds dope. That sounds dope. I'm gonna write that down. Random junk from my drawer in my kitchen. All right, got it. Um, Miguel Sandre, sorry if I got your name wrong. If Beatmaker 3 were to make a major update, what new features would you like to have added? All right, let's talk about it. All right, because I get pretty pumped about Beatmaker 3, but there's some things I want to see. Uh, Mobile Music Pro mentioned Andrew Huang. Yes, that is exactly what Andrew Huang does all day, making music from random things. Definitely had some inspiration from Andrew Huang. But back to the question at hand. Some features in Beatmaker 3. Couple things. One, we need the ability to automate on and off for effects. Okay, so Intua, if you happen to see this, we need the ability to automate on and off for effects. Any effect you add, you can automate the parameters that they give you, but you cannot automate on and off. It would be nice if you could also automate muting an instrument Oh wait, actually, take that back. You definitely can automate muting an instrument. Um, Mobile Music Pro says should be a wet dry knob. Yeah, that works for reverb. Wet dry works, but for something like man, let me think of an example. Something like, let's see, something like, for example, I know this is just kind of random, but like having an auto tune, like an auto tune plugin. Um, there you go. Stop tape effect. Yeah, like a tape effect. If I want it on and off for plugins or effects, that's a problem. So yeah, that would be great. That's one thing. Another thing is I would love to see some updates to the design. Overall, I feel like it's a well organized program, but I feel like it could use some TLC to the layout. Maybe make it a bit more friendly. I like what Cubasis is doing. I like the looks of it. But I think Beatmaker 3's got a lot going for it as far as features go, and that's why I stick with it. Um, More things on things I would like to see changed in Beatmaker 3. Obviously, the stability. That's the thing I get. I hear the most. Um, Beatmaker 2, yeah, yeah. So those of you that use Beatmaker 2, I'm new to Beatmaker. I started on Beatmaker 3 when I started iPad producing. Um, so I don't know a lot about Beatmaker 2, but it would be nice if they'd update the layout. It's kind of just a nitpick. It's not bad. Um, yeah, Miguel, I see you on the sampler and Cubasis. I am not super happy with the sampler in Cubasis. It doesn't do a whole lot. But I don't know if you guys have seen Elliott Garage uh, has released at least two plugins that I know of, segments as well as, gosh, what's the other one? I think it's called Push. No, Pulse. That's it. EG Pulse. Yes, EG Pulse is a dope sampler. And let me tell you one thing about when it comes to EG Pulse and Cubasis. There's one thing that Cubasis could add that would completely solve the sampler issue. Um, if Cubasis could add support for multi MIDI outputs, that would change the game because EG Pulse is the only app I know of that supports multi MIDI out. Jakob Hack, I believe that's how you say his name. Anybody that knows Hack Attack, the guy's a genius. But he mentioned this in his video about EG Pulse, is that it supports multi MIDI out, so I can do the things I do in Beatmaker 3, as in map my drum pads each to their own individual channel. And if Cubasis would support this, then I could map each pad to a channel in Cubasis, preferably. And that to me is some crucial functionality. I love that in Beatmaker 3, and it's one of the main reasons I'm not able to switch to anything else at the moment. I saw another question in the chat. I don't want to miss it. So let me take a look back. Let's see. All right, everybody that jumped on, welcome. Glad you're here. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, AUV3 segments and Pulse. Really excited about those things. I watched, I don't, Marcus, I don't know if you're still on here, Marcus Ovo. I watched your video making a beat in, I think it was Aria Pro. Correct me if I'm wrong. But did a video using segments, and I thought that was super dope. Excited to check that out. Yeah, yeah, Miguel, you're on it. That's why I'm still using Beatmaker 3, is because I just feel like there's not enough there for beatmakers in Cubasis 3. I think you're 100% on it. I hear people talking about Nano Studio 2. Oh, that's what it was. That's what Marcus used was Nano Studio 2. Um, I have looked at Nano Studio 2. It looks interesting. Not loving the UI that I see on it, but I would like to give it a shot. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was some functionality that I saw in a couple of videos I was not super impressed with. Um, Okay, Spell Legacy Like Death says, question, do you layer sample chops? You might have to elaborate on that one. Do you mean like when I chop my samples, do I have more than one at a time stacked on top of each other? If that's your question, I would normally say no, unless your samples in mono. Unless your samples in mono and you're trying to stereo separate it, then you might want to layer them. Generally, if I'm sampling something, it's I want I want a more old timey effect, and having it in mono is fine for me. I just sampled something the other day, did it in mono, and yeah, didn't need to stack it. Um, Worked for me. So hopefully that answers your question. Um, Yo, Spell Legacy, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Trying to make it 1% better with each video. Hopefully that continues to happen. Excited again for this Patreon launch. It means another step up, another level up for the music technologist community. Like I said, we are a community of creatives, and I like getting to connect with you guys and really just be a resource as much as I can for you guys. So, only a couple more things I wanted to talk about. Wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on some videos that are coming your way, as well as a little bit of insider stuff. Talked to some folks at Steinberg recently about some things I'm pretty excited about. So, I'll share a little bit about that after I tell you what's coming on the channel. So, the next video, those of you that are watching the live, you're getting the info early. You're getting the exclusive on this coming Friday. That's this week. I am dropping my next video, which is going to be talking about basically why I don't produce on FL Studio Mobile. Those of you that know me, like I said, I've been producing on FL Studio since I started. So been doing it for years, and now that I switched to iPad music production, there's reasons why I didn't switch to FL Mobile, and if you want to know why, check the video on Friday. Yeah, Mobile Music Pro. Yes, you're correct. Those of you that don't know, those of you that don't have FL Studio Mobile, um, find out why I don't rock with it so much in my video on Friday. Yeah, Miguel. Yeah, it takes a full day in FL Studio. Yeah, it. I don't want to. I'm not gonna get into it now. I'll talk about it. You'll see it in the video. But some exciting news from the folks at Steinberg about Cubasis 3. They reached out and wanted to know some things that I would like to see changed in the program. Some things they saw my video comparing Cubasis and Beatmaker, and just I think it's really awesome. They have a community of developers that take feedback from people that use their stuff. So definitely awesome from the folks at Cubasis to reach out. I'll share with you guys some of the things that I suggested. These are the suggestions I gave as far as things that could make Cubasis 3 better. So the first one is add a stop button to the transport window so that all audio can be stopped without hearing an audio tail. You might have heard me say that in the video about that I did about Cubasis versus Beatmaker. Yeah, it needs a stop button because it's kind of a nitpick, but every time you press the play pause button, and if you have a plugin that has a tail on the sound has a tail. It's going to continue to ring out. There's no way to stop it. Usually, you would press like double tap on the back button or hit the stop button. That would be nice. The second thing I said was make it possible to drag samples directly to drum pads without having to use the digital keyboard interface. Yeah, definitely the sample pads need some work. They're not as powerful as the ones in BeatMaker 3 for sure. And getting the samples onto the pads is a chore. It takes a lot of work to get them on there. You got to import your samples into the correct folder. You got to bring them into a mini sampler, and then from the mini sampler, you need to assign them to a key. And then once you've done that, the keys you assign don't really matter because you go back into the pads and then you drag the samples that you put in that pack onto the pack. It's such a long process. So yeah, if that gets fixed, that would be awesome. My third suggestion to them was add individual mixer channels per pad within a single instrument so that we can mix EQ and add effects individually to each sound. Yeah, this is a feature that those of you that use Beatmaker, they do it really well. Um, if you go into your mixer tab, you tap on an instrument, double tap on the instrument, it will open up a full mixer of faders for each individual pad. And this is great for drums. It's also great for people that are sampling because the sampler in Beatmaker 3 is killer. Um, so if I wanted to, for example, have like a delay on just one sound that I put in my pad, I can do that. That's not something that Cubase supports currently. So if they add that, that would be awesome. The fourth thing I said was add the ability to sidechain any mixer channel to another natively, and that includes the mixer channels for individual pads, the pads I was talking about just a second ago. Yeah, side chaining, it's huge. It would be great if we could do that. There isn't really any exact way to do that natively in Cubasis. So I have seen the app Push. I think it's AUFX Push. I haven't deep dived into how that one works well. Yeah, Mobile Music Pro. If you've got the wisdom, I know you're a Cubasis guy. If you've got the wisdom on side chaining, drop it in the comments. I'm sure people would love to see that. Um, Concussive maintenance. I don't know what you're talking about, Xavier. What are you talking about? Concussive to make it better, like an old TV. Okay. Um, Thank you to all y'all showing love in the comments. I see you. Yeah, want to get to the last couple suggestions. I gave them six in total. We're on number five right now. Um, I said add the ability to export MIDI from individual tracks rather than just a full MIDI export to the whole project. That is huge. Right now in Cubasis 3, the only way you can export your MIDI is through a full MIDI mixdown. In Beatmaker 3, you can literally press and hold on any of your instruments and press, I believe it's MIDI export, and boom, the file's right there. Mobile Music Pro says Bleece Sidekick is the best AUV3 sidechain app that I've seen. That's awesome. I'm gonna check that out. Bleece Sidekick for sure. All right, I'll give that a shot. The final suggestion I gave was number six. Consider revising the UI for getting to the drum pads of an instrument, making it require less steps. So, those of you that use Cubasis, the drum pads for your drums, I know other people you might use a plugin or whatnot. But if you go into the native drum pads, once you've got all your stuff assigned, getting to the pads is kind of a hassle. So like there's a drum section and then there's like a keyboard chord section. So you have to there's a if you go up to the MIDI keyboard button at the top, I believe it's MIDI keyboard, then you can click down below, you can click pads, and then once you've clicked the pads, there's like another toggle to hit drum pads. Anyway, just to clean up that UI would be great. So those are the suggestions I gave to them. I also gave them one more recently, if I can find it. Um, Oh yeah, I already mentioned it. Support for EG Pulse. That was my other suggestion. Yeah, and they were really great about it. They said that they were going to discuss my suggestions in their meeting that Monday. So hopefully they decided to implement some of them, and hopefully those will leak out to you guys. Like I said, I exist to be this channel exists to be a resource for you guys, and hopefully by some advocating, I'm able to we're able to get the features that we need to make music well in Cubasis. So I'm glad I had the opportunity to advocate for you guys in that way. Yeah, we're gonna get ready to wrap up this live in just a bit. Thank you to everybody that logged on. If you're watching the replay, um, come right back. Subscribe. Turn on those notifications. If you want to see more content, you know what to do. It's all down there. Hit the button. But yeah, content coming this Friday. Miguel says we need a Serum VST on iPad. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of dope plugins that are coming out now for desktop DAWs that didn't exist when I started. There weren't a lot of accessible plugins that weren't like super ridiculously high priced. They're a lot. They're getting cheaper these days for desktop, and yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there. And yeah, I think they're realizing, these desktop DAW creators are realizing, well, people are making music on these iPads and things are so cheap for them that way. We need to capitalize on this market. We need to get in the cheap plugin game. And then you got Splice letting you lease plugins. That's a game changer too. So yeah, like I said, you guys, I'm excited for Patreon. Go hit it up. It's patreon.com/Jahrell, Jahrell. Yeah, you guys, excited to connect with you there. Keep it locked. More content coming to you right here on this YouTube channel every week. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And if you didn't get your question answered in this Q&A, leave it there, Twitter and Instagram. I will do another Q&A in the future, and I will cover your questions. And yeah, catch you in the next one.